There is a moment, silent, invisible, when the universe stops being out there and starts responding to you. That moment is a quantum shift. It doesn't come with explosions, no flashing lights, no cosmic trumpet. It comes when your perception fractures for the first time, and you realize reality was never solid to begin with. You were never just a passive body walking through time. You were the observer, and the observer changes the field. But why is this truth hidden? Because once you understand it, reality is no longer something you react to. It becomes something you rewrite. Everything you see, your room, your body, this screen, feels stable, but it's not. Reality, at its core, is not fixed. It's fluid. It's reactive. It waits for you to define it. Modern physics calls this the observer effect. The idea that a particle's state depends on whether or not it's being observed. In simpler terms, your awareness isn't just watching the world. It's participating in creating it. This is not metaphor, this is measurable. In quantum mechanics, particles exist in a state of probability, a cloud of possibilities, until a conscious observer locks it into form. That's right. The chair you're sitting on, it's solidified for you because you expect it to be there. But here's the twist. Expectation isn't passive. It's a creative force. When you assume something, you collapse the field into that version of reality. So what if your assumptions aren't just ideas, but blueprints for manifestation? What if your trauma, your identity, your beliefs aren't just internal noise, but scripts you unknowingly handed to the universe? And what if the field, the quantum space around you, has just been echoing those scripts back to you over and over and over again? You walk into a room and something feels off. No words, no explanation, but your body knows. Why? Because you're not just a mind in a body. You're a receiver, a transmitter. And the quantum field is your mirror, not metaphorically, literally. Every thought, every emotion, every assumption you carry ripples into the field, and the field listens. It adjusts, it shapes, it reorganizes atoms and circumstances to echo your inner broadcast. So when you constantly expect betrayal, you don't just notice it, you invite it. When you vibrate in unworthiness, the field doesn't judge. It simply delivers matching frequencies. It's like shouting into a canyon. You always get back what you send. And here's where it gets disturbing. Most people are screaming things into the field they don't even realize they're broadcasting. I'm not enough. I'll always struggle. No one sees me. This is just how life is. And the universe replies, okay. But once you recognize the pattern, once you realize the field is responding, not attacking, you unlock the door to the shift. Because here's the truth. You don't fix your life by fixing the outside. You shift your frequency, and the world shifts around it. And if you're feeling something stir inside you right now, that's not coincidence. That's your deeper self waking up. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell, because in the next parts, we're diving deeper than you've ever gone before. You were never meant to hustle your way into alignment. That's the biggest lie they sold you. The universe doesn't speak action, it speaks frequency, and frequency doesn't come from what you do. It comes from who you are being. Let that sink in. Not what you say, not what you plan, not what you fake. The field only mirrors your state of being, the silent, energetic signature you broadcast even when your lips say nothing. That's why affirmations often fail, because saying I am abundant from a place of fear doesn't change your frequency, it highlights your lack. The field doesn't care about words, it reads vibration. And here's the key most spiritual teachers never tell you. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you've normalized. Read that again. Your subconscious baseline, what you expect by default, is scripting your reality on autopilot. That's the core of a quantum shift, not forcing change, but becoming the new script so deeply the field has no choice but to reflect it. You don't chase the shift. You tune into it. You don't wait for permission. You embody the future before it arrives. Because in the quantum, there is no before, no after, only now. And in that now, reality bends. The version of you who already lives your dream life, already exists, already vibrates. The only question is, will you tune in? Or will you keep watching a broadcast you've outgrown? They told you reality is outside, solid, untouchable, objective. But here's what the mystics and the quantum physicists finally agree on. Consciousness is not inside your brain. Reality is inside your consciousness. Let that land. You're not inside the universe. The universe is inside you. Think about it. Have you ever experienced anything outside your awareness? No sound, no sight, no memory, no thought has ever occurred outside your field of perception. That means you are the projector. You hold the lens through which reality takes shape, and that lens is made of belief, expectation, trauma, hope, identity. Most people don't realize they're not reacting to reality. They're reacting to the version of reality filtered through their wounds. This is the illusion. We think life happens to us, when in truth, it's happening through us. Now here's where the quantum field gets personal. It doesn't respond to what you want. It responds to what you accept as normal. If chaos is normal to you, the field will deliver more chaos. If disappointment is expected, you'll find it, no matter how bright the day is. But when you raise the bar of your baseline, when you decide deeply and non-negotiably that peace, love, expansion, synchronicity are your new normal, the field reconfigures, not slowly, instantly. Because it's never been about time, it's been about alignment. Time is just how long you take to realize what's already true. And here's the deeper layer. You're not just shifting your experience, you're shifting the version of you that experiences. There are infinite versions of you, each one holding a different frequency, a different life path, a different reality. And the moment you tune into a higher frequency, you activate the version of you that already lives there. You collapse into that timeline, not through force, not through effort, through identity realignment. You don't climb to the next level, you become the next level. The field doesn't upgrade, you do. And when you do, the field has no choice but to follow. You think your life is one continuous path, but it's not. Every choice, every shift in perception, every emotional frequency moves you across timelines. Most people imagine time like a train track. You go forward, maybe take a few turns, but the direction is fixed. But the truth, time is a web, a lattice of infinite potentials. Each thought is a thread, each belief a tuning fork. You're not on one timeline. You're surfing across billions every moment you decide who you are. Let me show you how this works. Ever had a moment where everything changed overnight? A conversation, a breakdown, a breakthrough, and suddenly people treated you differently. Opportunities appeared from nowhere. The world felt reprogrammed. That wasn't luck. That was a frequency shift. You jumped, and the new timeline had different variables, different doors, different mirrors. This is not fantasy. This is quantum mechanics applied to consciousness. Because the universe is not made of stuff. It's made of waves, probabilities, not certainties. When you stay stuck in fear, you tune into a reality where your fears come true. When you rise into love, presence, and clarity, you start attracting moments that feel like magic. These aren't coincidences. They're reflections of new timelines. Your life doesn't change linearly. It fractures and reforms. And the faster your awareness grows, the faster your external life reshapes to match. Here's where it gets wild. The people in your life, the opportunities that show up, even the way your body feels. They all update based on the frequency you're tuned into. You've already jumped timelines dozens of times. You just weren't conscious of it. But now, you're starting to see the pattern. You're starting to feel the agency. Because quantum shifting isn't a trick. It's your default setting, once you remember how to use it. And when you master that, you stop waiting for life to give you signs. You start choosing the version of life you want to live and aligning with it until it has no choice but to show up. All your life, you've been told that thinking is power, but in the quantum field, thinking is noise. Every thought you cling to creates boundaries. It defines what's possible and quietly eliminates what's not. That's why people meditate, not to relax, but to escape the static of identity, because only when the thinking mind goes silent can the real self emerge, the one who isn't trying to manifest, but simply is. In that stillness, you stop being the voice in your head. You become the awareness behind it. And here's the paradox. The less you chase control, the more the universe responds. Because surrender isn't weakness, it's precision. It's choosing to trust the field more than your fear. See, the field isn't interested in ego games. It's not judging, punishing, or rewarding you. It simply mirrors your internal environment. So when you quiet the mind, when you stop trying to get and instead simply be, you merge with it. That's the moment mystics call union. The Buddhists call it emptiness. The Sufis call it annihilation of self. In the quantum language, it's non-resistance to the field. And when you enter that state, you no longer move through reality. Reality moves through you. You become the still point, the zero node, around which the entire frequency matrix organizes. This is the power hidden in observation without attachment. You don't react. You don't resist. You witness, and witnessing creates space, and space creates potential, and potential becomes power. The shift isn't loud, it's quiet, subtle, like the moment just before thunder. But once it hits, the entire grid changes, not because you forced it, but because you remembered you are the source. You came here thinking you'd learn how to shift reality, but now you know, you are the shift. You're not some fragile spark lost in an infinite universe. You're the flame it all bends around. You're not separate from the field. You are the field, localized in human form, pretending to be small for a while. The suffering, the confusion, the waiting, they all end when you remember. You don't live in a reality. You live as a reality. And that means everything you see, everything you fear, everything you desire is already inside you. You don't have to become. You only have to recognize. So the real question isn't, how do I shift? It's, what am I still choosing to be that's holding the old reality in place? Because once you drop the false self, once you strip away the stories, you'll realize something terrifying and beautiful. The new world was never waiting to arrive. It was waiting for you to let go. So now tell me, if you knew reality would bend to your next choice, what would you choose to become? Let me know in the comments. Your answer may be the first ripple